Okay. Beta. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from. What's it there, baby? Y'all already know Big Boss, how Boss down, can't poke through. Go! Get the house about fucking master lyrical. Tell times don't last, good people do, don't knock yourself. Cut them in the hotline, member, you matter. Peak game, ready for us on West Wing. Jermall Charlo back, man. It's a good sight to see, you know, due to all the mental and physical stuff that he kind of went through. You know, Boss don't talk about stuff outside of boxing. Excuse me, on my channel, like personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it strictly boxing. That's just what I do. And I'm going to keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? You don't like it, don't watch my channel. But he had a lot of mental and physical stuff going on. You know, but now he's back. He's training with Ronnie Shields. He apparently, according to Ronnie Shields, he's moving up to 168. So, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I just want to see Jermall Charlo keep fighting, man. Because it seems like when he fights, he's happier. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters, when they not fighting, it seems like they have demons and, you know, and stuff that gets to their mind, you know, which causes them to try to suppress that with, you know, alcohol or gambling or whatever, beating somebody up, whatever it is, you know. So it seems like the only way they stay out of trouble is just to keep fighting. And that's what I kind of want for Jermall Charlo. I feel like personally Jermall Charlo is kind of been in his own way, you know what I mean, in his career. I'm just talking about the boxing aspect. Hear me out. Jermall Charlo did everything he could, right, to get himself in position back in the day. You know what I mean? To get a Canelo fight, a Triple G fight. And they didn't want to fight him. Their excuses were, oh, what has he done? You know what I mean? And that was the reason for the fans, too. Oh, what has he done to get these fights? Right? But then you'll see, like, Triple G fight a Steve Rose or Canelo fight, what was that boy's name? Anthony Yildirim. You know what I mean? And you like, bro, how these dudes get these fights? Well, they the mandatory. Well, Charlo been the mandatory? Like, you know? So it's just like, it's stuff like that. You know, I think boxing, politics kind of played a part, but also just him trying to do everything by the book, and he didn't get his opportunity. He didn't get his shot to prove himself. You know what I mean? Just even opportunity. Even if he would have lost, it's just the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? To get in there and be like, you know what? I'm gonna basically get in there. These boys started. Why they just put no cones out? My bad. Why ain't, you know, just opportunity to get in that ring and just show, you know, prove yourself. You know what I'm saying? And he never got that shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that's difficult. And I understand, you know, Charlo, you know what I'm saying? Because he like, bro, like, I want to be great. Like, I did everything, like, according to the sanctioning body rules, everything, and I'm still not getting my opportunity. You know what I mean? So it sucked. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, I feel like you got to look at a David Benavidez and see how he's continuing to move around Canelo. You know what I mean? And that's what Charlo got to do. He got to move around Canelo. You know what I'm saying? He got to make moves around Canelo Alvarez. You know what I mean? Around anybody else who's a big name who don't want to fight him. He got to make moves around that. You know what I mean? So if I'm Charlo, you know, I come back, I take a tune-up, right? Take a tune-up. My next, depending on how I look in my tune-up, right? At 168, because it's a new weight class. Dudes up there. When you move up in these new weight classes, you got to see how you feel, how your body feel. It's a lot that plays a part. So you got to see how everything is transpiring, how everything is going before you able to, get in that big fight with that name. So if Charlo looks sensational against, this next opponent, I don't know who he's fighting. I'm pretty sure it's a tune-up. I wouldn't mind seeing Charlo in there with a Caleb Plant. You know what I mean? And I feel a little differently about that fight now. Hear me out. Caleb Plant still that dude. Don't get it twisted. He's still that dude. You know what I mean? He adding to, you see here his improvements. But I look at that fight a little differently now when it comes to Caleb Plant and Jermall Charlo. I think I would make that more of a 50-50 fight. I kind of had it 60-40, 70-30 Caleb Plant because of just how slick he is. I don't say was. How slick he is, and, but I think Caleb Plant kind of slowing down. That's just my opinion. I think he kind of slowing down a little bit, right? And it may be due to him being on the shelf, because he ain't fought in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So prior to that, I think his last fight prior to that was, I'm talking about Caleb Plant, Darrell. You know what I'm saying? And he fought David, I think it was David Benavidez. Yes, it's David Benavidez. So it's Darrell to David Benavidez, and then he ain't been fighting. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I can say it was ring rust, but based off his last performance, I look at that fight as a 50-50 fight now. And I give Charlo a chance. You know what I'm saying? I think if Charlo's able to utilize his jab and be able just to keep Caleb Plant in check, which I think Jermall Charlo got one of the best jabs in boxing. And I stand on that. Like, I studied his jab. The dude got a piston jab. Like, he be dropping boys with jabs. You know what I'm saying? He got the best jab in the sport of boxing. Hands down. It was him, Elspeth, Jermall Charlo. They got the best jabs in boxing. And I'm not saying this because they live in Texas. I'm saying this because it's the truth. I don't see nobody else that got Triple G got a good jab. But I'm just talking about just jabbing. Period. Just jabs. David Haney got a good jab. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just talking about just like jabbing. Like, they jab is if you take away they dominant hand, right? You take away their dominant hand, and they could probably just whoop you with their lead hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could hurt you with their lead hand. So I think if Charlo's able to be a little bit more active on his jabs, because you got to up his jab rate against Caleb Plant. Upstairs, downstairs. I think he can beat Caleb Plant. I won't say stoppage, but I think he can beat him. You know what I'm saying? If he able to use that jab. You know what I mean? That's a good fight. It's a lot of big fights for Charlo, from 168 even up to 175. If I was Charlo, I wouldn't rule out going to 175 either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's big fights, bro. And he at the point in his career now where, like, you're not getting no younger. You 34 years old, it's time to get to it. You know what I mean? Like, and I think if he stay active, that'll kind of keep him out of trouble. Because a lot of these fighters, when they aren't fighting a lot, it leaves room for other nonsense. Again, I'm going to say that again. It leaves them room to get into stuff. You know what I'm saying? They frustrated because they want to fight. They can't get fights. They want certain fights, so they go out and they drink. And they, or they read a comment and, the stuff may get to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just is what it is. The only fighter I've seen that somebody said something in the comments and it don't bother them is Floyd. But I do think a lot of these comments bother these fighters, especially the fighters of today. So, and they wanna be great and they wanna prove themselves. And that's why I get for Jermall Charlo. He seeing his little bro became undisputed champion. Jermall wanted that. You know what I'm saying? He was happy for Jermall Charlo, but I know Jermall Charlo wanted that accomplishment too. You know what I'm saying? So, he happy for his brother. He ain't hating on his brother. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him personally, but I don't get that vibe. I know that he wanted that for himself too. He wanted that opportunity. He never got it. But now he can get that opportunity. for the second half of his career. If I was Jermall Charlo, I'd tell hey man, I don't care who I'm in there with. Just put me in there, I'm a fighter. I don't care if it's not flop. I just want to keep fighting, so I keep my head on straight and stay out the way. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You know, for this next chapter of my career. You know, hopefully big fights can happen. But I'm not gonna stall out my career waiting on big fights, because that was the problem with Jermall Charlo, is he wouldn't fight. You know, and that's why I was sitting there saying, when people was trying to criticize Tank, you know, I'm gonna make a separate video about this statement I'm gonna make. People try to criticize Tank for fighting Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach is he a big name? No, but he a good fighter, bro. He a good little fighter. I'm not gonna hold you. He could fight. He's talented, and he got history with Tank. You know what I'm saying? They done fought a couple of times in the amateurs. They know each other. We just watched a fight where a couple of guys that fought in the amateurs, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and you saw how that fight went. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't, you know, but you gotta be active, right? Errol Spence. Honestly, if Errol Spence, and I'm just saying this, I think if Errol Spence was more active as a fighter, he probably still would have lost to Crawford, but he probably would have fought better. I think inactivity played a part. Of course, poor game planning. Inactivity played a part in his performance, right? In my opinion, that played like a part. It was a bunch of things, but that played a part in him losing to Crawford. Was the number one thing was inactivity. Danny Garcia said this. He said the number one thing that kills a fighter is inactivity. Them not being active, them not fighting, them, you know what I mean? Them not being in that ring enough, it kills a fighter. You see what I'm saying? So what I want for Jermall Charlo is just to fight. Just keep fighting, bro. You know what I'm saying? He a great talent, bro. I think Jermall Charlo, and this is the thing, even if he fight these guys in the later half of his career, he fight Caleb Plant, lose, or he fight, you know, let's say he beat Caleb Plant, and then say, you know what, I'm gonna go to 75 and I'm gonna fight David Benavidez, and he lose to him. Okay, cool. You know, now granted, people gonna try to ridicule him as mainly the casuals or the diehard fans, but he tried to be great. It's part of boxing. There gotta be a winner and a loser in the sport. You feel me? And I just think that, like, when it comes down to it, Jermall Charlo is a great fighter. I'm gonna put great on his name. He a great fighter, bro. Great fundamentals. Great jab. Now, is he like flashy? No. He got his own little style. There's certain things that I studied. Like I say, that jab is off the chain, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. That jab is on another level. Man, these boys in Texas can't drive, bro. Hey, y'all be careful when you're driving down here. These boys retarded, man. They act like it's Fast and the Furious everywhere you go down here, man. Tripping. But anyway, all I'm saying at the end of the day, I really said that because I almost just saw an accident. I'm excited to see Jermall Charlo back. I want to, see him put on another great performance. And, sky's the limit for him. He just got to keep fighting. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know what y'all think about Jermall Charlo. Boss gone.